All right, classic. Okay, if you are watching the replay, welcome. We're going to start in a couple minutes, so you can probably fast forward a few minutes. I have Sarah here, who's on the Work Week Lunch team. I want to make sure I have the right view here. Okay. Sarah, you can mute yourself for now. Sweet. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to get started. Welcome to the No Reheat template meal workshop. I'm Talia. I'm the founder of Work Week Lunch. We're basically going to jump right in here because, you know, I have a lot to share with you. And if you're watching the replay, thanks again. So this is our first workshop that I want to do a lot more in the months to come. And I decided to focus on no reheat meals because it's a huge struggle for a lot of us, you know, figuring out meals that aren't sandwiches and salads. I mean, there's only so many times you can eat a sandwich, and we're not doing any sandwiches on this workshop. So I hope that you learned something. I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff in the next hour. We're going to go through what are template meals and why we're doing this without recipes. I'm going to show you a lot of speedy meal prep hacks. I mean, look at all this food behind me. Okay, I did this in an hour, like all of this prep. And I'm going to show you kind of how I did that. We're going to go through the 5 templates that I'm going to teach you how to do. We're going to talk about storage, which is super important, right? How to keep these meals fresh and, you know, keep them from leaking in your bag and all that stuff. And at the end, we have some surprises and Q&A. And of course, you can drop your questions in the chat anytime. We are, you know, Sarah's here on the team. She's gonna field some questions for me. She'll pop in here, you'll hear her voice. Sarah, by the way, is our recipe team assistant. She proofreads all the recipes at Work Week Lunch, make sure that they are written properly and there's no spelling mistakes and they make sense. So thanks, Sarah, for being here. Okay, cool. And hopefully everyone knows how to use the chat. I'm also going to just pop a link in here so that if you get lost and you want to follow along, this will help. Where is this? Okay. Let's see. I don't know if I can pin this. Let's see. No, I cannot pin it. But in the chat, that link, it's kind of a guide to the meals that we're working on this workshop, and I am ready to go. All right. We'll keep the chat open. Okay. Also, it's, you know what, I should wait 2 more minutes because it's not even 4 yet. I'm glad that a lot of you were here early, so thank you. Okay, so the first question I want to hear from you guys is, what do you do for work? And do you have a microwave at work or school or whatever you do? Because I mean, for me, I work at home and at WeWork, and there is a microwave. However, I like to not use the microwave at WeWork because I don't know, I'm a little shy. I'm a little shy if I go in the kitchen at WeWork still. But yeah, you can, oh, okay, there's some Q&A happening. Cool. Okay, hold on, thank you for letting me know the chat is not everyone. Okay. Attendees can chat with everyone. Great. Okay, try the chat now. Thank you. Amazing. Yes. All right. There is the link in there. Let's see. Nope. Zoom needs to get with it and see if we can pin things, because that would be very helpful. Awesome. Okay, so the question again is, where do you work? And do you have a microwave or go to school or wherever you spend your days? Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I wanted to do this. So someone mentioned they're a teacher, and I wanted to do this workshop because I feel like this is the back to school season. There are a lot of teachers. I mean, this is kind of, I think, probably the first year in 2 years that we are actually back to school in reality, like in real life. I'm sure that there's still some hybrid things happening, but I get the sense that people are physically going back to school right now. So that's why I wanted to do this. Yeah, okay, so yeah, if you're a student, definitely hard to have access to a microwave. I remember being a student and not knowing where the microwaves were on campus that I could use when I did like the most basic meal prep. Awesome. Okay, all right. So I'm going to jump right in here with the first thing on the list, which is what are template meals? And template meals basically are meals that are around building blocks. So you have your main elements, like in this case, we have protein, veggies, carbs, and toppings, or like mix-ins and sauces. Those 4 elements are going to be present in every meal I show you today. And the beautiful thing about template meals is once you know how to build it, you can swap in and out any ingredients that you want, that you like, that are on sale that week, that are accessible to you. So it kind of gives you this confidence to play with your food and kind of make a meal and get rid of recipes and make meals based on what's accessible, what you like, all that stuff. I love recipes. Recipes teach us how to cook, but I really do believe that they can get in the way sometimes. It's just another step. You have to research them, you got to read them, you got to like make sure you have everything to make them, you got to read all the steps. This way we just eliminate that and you just know, okay, I'm making this pasta salad and I need a protein, veggie, carb, and something to make it taste good, like a sauce. So that is why I wanted to teach you about template meals today. They are, I will be honest, like when I started Work Week Lunch, I wanted to not write any recipes at all and just be able to teach you how to do this. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Any questions about template meals, please pop them in the chat. I have it open. I can see you guys chatting in there. And yeah, I'll just pause here for any questions. Coconut. Coconut also would like to say hello. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about template meals, but instead we'll, oh, Coconut is very happy to be here. Awesome. Okay, so what's with all this food behind me? There's so much of it. I'm going to walk you through what I have here. So right in front of me, I have my proteins. Today, we are working with rotisserie chicken, which I got from Whole Foods. Looks like this. I used half of it. I think rotisserie chicken is an amazing meal prep hack. You know, you can just shred it up. It's already cooked. Of course, you can make it yourself if you roast a whole chicken, but let's skip that step. Just get it from the store. It's amazing. The second thing we have here are chickpeas, canned chickpeas. I did not season these. They're just straight from the can. I just rinsed them out. Of course, like I'm showing you the bare minimum today, right? This is like if you have no time, hardly any energy, you don't know, like you just are, you're so overwhelmed. You can roast and saute and season these with spices, or you can just eat them out of the can, you know? The thing about these meals and meal prep in general is that these are not the meals you're going to remember for the rest of your life. They're just meant to nourish you between meetings and classes, or whatever else you have going on. Another protein we have edamame. So this is a frozen edamame that I just microwaved, right? I didn't even boil water. I just popped it in the microwave. Of course, if you don't have a microwave, it's really easy to boil the water and make them. This is a great veggie protein. It is soy, it's soy-based, so just keep that in mind. And then I have eggs. So I just cut one open here, but these are soft-boiled eggs. I only like soft-boiled eggs. And that's another really easy protein. Again, boil some eggs. Is that even cooking? I don't really think it is, but it's like the most basic cooking ever. Coconut, don't bark. Sorry. Okay. Any questions about proteins? Again, you are more than welcome to pop questions in the chat. And if you're just joining us, welcome. We are just going over some of the elements I have here for our no reheat meals and some speedy cooking hacks. Cool. So I think the most important thing about your no reheat meals is the meal vehicle. Oh, and also someone asked, sorry, can you show us some more vegetarian ones? I don't have any on display right now, but I'm going to send you a guide after this workshop tomorrow and with the replay, and it's going to have a lot more detail and like what vegetarian proteins use. But off the top of my head, I know tofu, seitan, tempeh, black beans, pinto beans, white beans. I would say some would argue quinoa is a protein. Here we're going to use it as a carb, but those are kind of the ones that I would go for off the top of my head. And other ones I don't have right now are also canned tuna, canned salmon, you know, shrimp, salmon, and just like, you know, regular salmon is also good too for pescatarians. Hopefully that answers your question. So as I was saying before, your meal vehicle, right? Like what is actually the base of your meal is probably the most important for no reheat meals. So we have pasta. This, oh my God, I don't remember the name. It starts with a C. I will send you what the shape is. I love it though. I love short pasta for no like pasta salads and stuff versus spaghetti or like the longer pasta shapes. This pasta is looking a little weird because I cooked it an hour ago, so it's a little. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, thank you. It's cover. Oh my God, I'm going to say it wrong. Sarah, you could pop in and just say it.
I think it's cavatappi. I'm not, I'm not an expert in Italian, but I believe that's how it's pronounced.
I would have done. Another really great no reheat meal base is quinoa, especially if you're gluten-free. I think quinoa is an awesome no reheat meal. Another no reheat meal base. Another one would be farro. Farro is not gluten-free, but I think it is really good for grain salads. Technically, you can use like wild rice and rice, like long grain rice for your salads too. So just keep that in mind. Also, my shirt says, yes, you can reheat rice, but of course, this time we're not reheating anything. Another one would be soba noodles. So these are also looking a little clumpy because they've been out for a minute. Soba noodles are an awesome no reheat meal vehicle, but just know again, I don't think they're gluten-free. They're made of buckwheat. Another option would be ramen. I'm sure you can find gluten-free ramen. Rice noodles can work, but they're definitely the trickiest for meal prep in general. Oh, they are? Thank you. Apparently, soba noodles are gluten-free, apparently. But yeah, huge fan of these. To cook these, you want to cook them for about 4 or 5 minutes in boiling water and then rinse them with cold water immediately after so they don't get too sticky. Like these are clumpy, but they're gonna separate and we'll be all right. Okay, also other carbs, pita bread. So this, you can get the kind of pita you can stuff, or you can do this like the folding kind of pita. So that's another really good one that, again, kind of a sandwich, but not a sandwich. And lastly, our favorite, tortillas for wraps and burritos. By the way, a burrito rolling tutorial we just posted has like millions of views on it. So that's kind of amazing on Instagram and TikTok. I will show you, I will recreate that and show you how to wrap one of these. But these are 10-inch flour tortillas from the brand Mission, which we love. I do have a video on YouTube about different gluten-free tortillas, but I think Mission makes the best one, even for gluten-free. So again, carbs, meal vehicles for no reheat meals, super important. Now, all the way back here, we have our veggies. So I think veggies are the most fun part of this. This is where you can get really creative and keep swapping them out so your meals never get boring, right? That's the whole point of this. Like, you're not using recipes and you're going to be really creative and just have endless variety of different kinds of meals you can make because you're swapping out different veggies every time. That's really where the variety comes from. Like, you can always use quinoa and chicken for your carb and protein, but then different veggies for every meal, and then that's where your variety comes in so you don't get bored. I don't know about you, who here gets bored of meal prep? I mean, that's probably the biggest complaint about meal prep that I ever hear. So I would say, oh yeah, Diana, your hand was raised. See that? Yeah, so I think that being able to swap veggies out and not overthinking what veggies you're using in your meals is going to be a great way for you to get variety without relying on recipes and just like sitting there trying to come up with ideas. So another speedy meal prep hack. So you want to get, there's nothing wrong with using things like this. This is broccoli slaw. It's one of our favorites. You can freeze broccoli slaw, by the way, to cook with in stir fries. I mean, we use this a lot in our recipes because it's just so texturally, it's great. And, you know, it just holds, it carries different sauces and flavors really well. And it just goes in a lot of different meals. Huge fan of this. Also, our diet culture friend Zoodles makes an appearance here. I definitely like Zoodles just as a vegetable. I got these at Whole Foods pre-zoodled. So we're going to use these in some meals. We've also got a chopped salad kit. So this came with, you know, croutons and cheese and stuff. So like, we're going to use these in other things, but this is another way to just get some veggies without having to chop anything, right? We're just trying to be speedy here. What else? coleslaw mix for some cabbage. You know, I personally don't like buying a whole cabbage and I never really use it all up. So this is a little bit better for me. And I have, of course, greens. Again, you don't have to mess with these too much. You can buy a bunch of kale and chop it all yourself, or you just speed up the process and do this. I also did do some chopping. So again, these have been sitting out for a minute. So they've seen better days, but I have shredded carrots, apple, bell pepper, and cucumber, which we're going to use in a bunch of different meals. I want to point out that these are crunchy raw veggies. So those are your friends in no reheat meals. And also for fruit and apples and stuff, if I squeeze some lemon juice on this, they wouldn't be kind of brown right now. So yeah, these are all the veggies we're using. Any questions about any veggies? Pop them in the chat. I see it. It's open. Thank you all for being here, by the way. And then last but not least, another element in this process is going to be our toppings and mix-ins. So these are the things that add texture, flavor, because if you put together pasta with bell pepper and chickpeas, no one's gonna want to eat that. But if you add your favorite dressing and some cheese, well, now we're talking. So I bought this Dijon honey mustard dressing from Whole Foods because I didn't feel like making any for this. But again, we can take shortcuts. You don't have to overcomplicate it. There's nothing wrong with buying your favorite dressing and just using that in these meals. I've also got barbecue sauce, hummus, pesto is a great one. And then for texture, as I mentioned, you know, I have a bunch of like mix-ins here. So I have walnuts, craisins, pepitas, so like pumpkin seeds, cilantro, cheese, and I did make a sesame dressing, which we'll use. I also have avocado. By the way, I opened this avocado like an hour ago, but it's still fine. Okay, it's still good to eat. All right. So I think we're ready to make some meals. Once again, the 5 meals we're gonna make, let me just go over those really quick. These are the 5 template meals that you're gonna learn. Oh, wait, someone asked, do you wash your veggies right after you buy them or before you use them? I wash my veggies usually right before I use them. After I shop, personally, they're going in the fridge and I don't wash them until I'm like cooking. I don't know if it really matters, to be honest, whatever's easier for you. So let's go through the 5 meals. The first one is gonna be wraps and pitas. So these are things that meals the vehicle is a wrap or a pita. A wrap or pita meal, I'm not doing this on this workshop, but like your tuna salads, your your egg, your potato salads and things like that, great for wrap and pita meals. I personally don't like those kinds of things, so I do not prep them. But if you like them, that is going to be for your wraps and pitas. The second one, pasta and noodles. So that's going to be our cavatappi pasta and our soba noodles. That's another template. So that's going to be kind of like your traditional pasta salad or soba noodle salad. The third one is going to be a grain salad. So we're going to do quinoa for that. And that's going to be like a lot of leaves and some protein and some dressing. The cool thing about quinoa is that you can pre-dress your salad, right? You don't have to keep the dressing on the side because the quinoa will soak it up. It won't be soggy or anything. It'll be great. And the fourth one's going to be a regular salad, just leaves. And I'm going to teach you how to prep them properly so that they're not soggy and sad. And the last one's going to be kind of like a snacky bento situation. So that's kind of like, it doesn't really have a recipe or like a template as much as a process. It's more of a process. So that's the last one I'm going to show you. All right. So I have a question for you before we get started is, when do you pack your lunches? Are you packing them in the morning before work or school? At night? Are you doing it all on a Sunday or like on the weekend, or do you not do it? Tell us in the chat. I'd love to know when you're going to be doing this. Personally, obviously I am going to be prepping them on Sundays. Looks like a lot of people are doing that before. Sweet. Depends both. Love it. After dinner. I feel like after dinner is a good time, like when you're cleaning up right before you leave from leftovers. That's great. Okay, we're going to get to that. So I will say everything we're talking about can be prepped on a Sunday, right? And again, if you are someone who gets bored of meal prep, this is great. Like you can mix and match all those steps so you don't get bored and you don't have to worry about getting takeout. You don't have to worry about getting your veggies in or whatever nutrition goals you have. It just, it's just going to be there for you in the fridge. I leave everything out in the fridge the night before and put in the bag. Yeah, that's great. All right, so let's get started. The first one we're going to do is a wrap. So I think I'm going to smooth this down slightly so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. So I'm going to need a bowl. So for this wrap, we're going to do chicken with barbecue sauce. We're going to do some of our salad kit. And we are going to do some avocado. And we are also going to do some kale. So that's basically 5 ingredients, okay, going into this wrap. And what I'm going to do is, make this a little easier for you to see. Bear with me 1 second so you can see what's going on. It's like a mirror. Okay, better. So I'm going to just put some of the salad in the bowl. I think we can all do that, right? No matter how much of a beginner you are. I'm going to put some chicken in. I'm not measuring. Just want you guys to know this. I'm not measuring. I'm eyeballing it, which is another really important part of being able to cook without a recipe, is being able to eyeball. And I think part of that, honestly, is just trial and error, like figuring out how much you like to eat and how much you need to eat. We're gonna do, so we're just doing chicken and this salad in the bowl here. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of this barbecue sauce. With a wrap, you don't wanna do too much because then it will get soggy and then it will fall apart. I'm just gonna mix it up. There's like a whole Brussels sprout in here, okay. Add a little more. You can do this with chickpeas. You can do this with pretty much any protein, I would say. And you can also make the barbecue sauce more interesting by adding curry powder to it. You can do like a curry barbecue sauce, which was my original idea, but then I ran out of time. And again, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, please type in the chat. I have it open, I can see. And I'm so down to answer your questions while doing this. Okay, so I have it mixed up here. Got my wrap. And the first thing we're going to do for wraps, we have to create a barrier, right? Because we really don't want soggy wraps. So our leaves are going to be the barrier between the sauce, the saucy thing I just made, and the tortilla. So I have like a pile of kale here. I've also, okay, so obviously I made too much filling. Okay, it's going to be a full one. I'm going to get some filling in here and some avocado. Just for fun. And then of course, to make sure the avocado doesn't get too brown, you can squeeze a little bit of lemon. Just gonna squeeze a little bit and wrap it up. So I'm gonna do, like to shape my tortilla, okay. I'm going to just fold it up, fold in the sides. This is a very full wrap here and just flip it over. Oh yeah. One of the critiques on our video that went viral is that there wasn't enough filling. So hopefully that was enough. And there it is, one no reheat lunch down. This can last in the fridge for, I would say, 3 to 4 days. And if you're really worried about the tortilla or if you're using gluten-free tortillas, keep the filling on the side and wrap the morning of or maybe the night before. Any questions about this? Cool. All right, cool. So also, how do we store this? Well, I'm lazy. I would just literally put it in a container like this, but you can also wrap it in foil. You can wrap it in saran wrap, one of those reusable wraps. You can use a stasher bag. I mean, there's so many different ways you can store this. So yeah, there's our first one. Also, oh yeah, you could do the same thing and put it in a pita, right? Same exact. What would you use for a curry wrap? I would probably do like curry powder and barbecue sauce, or I make, this is where, again, you can buy curry sauce pre-made, which is probably the fastest way to do it, or make your own on the stove. Yeah. Perfect, Sarah, that's a great answer. Okay, so first one done. Okay, second one we got is our pasta. Okay, I'm a huge pasta fan. Pasta salads are definitely a meal that I will always be into. So for this one, we're gonna do pasta, chickpeas, red bell peppers, noodles, pesto. All right. Someone asked, do you keep the tortilla cold or room temp? So I would say you want to store it in the fridge overnight, right? Or for however many days you can store it. And then when you take it out of the fridge, you can keep it at room temperature until lunch. Like anything that comes out of the fridge, you know, in the morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., and you're eating it like 11 to 2 p.m., it's gonna be fine out of the fridge. Unless it's, don't leave it in a hot car. But if it's just sitting in your classroom or at work, just out, it's fine. It's still kind of gonna be cold from being in the fridge. All right. So for our pasta salad, again, this pasta's been been sitting here for a minute. So it's a little weird, but it's fine. We are gonna put pasta in the bowl here. Got our red bell pepper that I sliced up just now. We got some zoodles. Again, I want you to see how easy this is. I'm just throwing stuff in a bowl with some sauce, you know. Oh, these are very, oh wow, these are like, okay. Let me know what you think about this very questionable thing I'm about to do. Just cutting it with scissors. Why not? Why not? Okay. I love zoodles. I do. We've got pesto. What else? I said chickpeas. So I'm just gonna add a couple. So this is a whole can of chickpeas, and I usually say a third of a can is a serving, which I think is what they say on the actual can as well. Just opening pesto.
Talia, there's a question in the Q&A about how do you not have so much oil in the pesto after you store it for a little bit? So I think speaking to how it might separate a bit.
Yeah, I would say, I think that, I mean, it really depends on how much you use. Like the pasta is going to soak up some of that oil for sure. You want a little bit of it because you do want it to be creamy and you don't want it to clump together. But I would say make sure your pesto is well stirred before you assemble the meal. And it should be like this, you know, everything's coated, but it's not saturated with pesto. You know what I mean? It's pasta with pesto. It's not pesto with pasta. So hopefully that answers your question. I think it's about the ratio, making sure it's stirred and trusting that the pasta will soak it up. Okay. So there's my salad. That is it. This is the whole thing. You know, I could add some cheese if I wanted to. Yeah. Alyssa, improvise a jack over cup. Is that in response to my scissor thing? All right. So we're going to use this container. This is a square 30-ounce container. Unfortunately, they don't make this one anymore on Amazon. You will get a container guide on Thursday or tomorrow with all my recommendations, but this is great. I would say if I was commuting, sorry, coconut. If I was commuting to work every day, school every day with a bag, I would use a plastic container because they're lighter. Sorry guys, coconut is growling at me. All right. Coco, come here, honey. Okay, so we've got pesto pasta. Any questions on here? Yeah, Coco definitely wants pasta. What's your opinion on keeping used pasta water for sauces? I think if I was making a sauce, like immediately while I was cooking, then I would definitely keep it. But if I'm not cooking any sauces, I'm not sure I would. Thanks for the container rec. All right, Sarah, if there's any other questions in the Q&A, let me know. I see them popping up. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one is going to be our soba noodles. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Now, I made this meal last week, and let me tell you, I was obsessed with this meal. I'm so glad I got to eat it again. I'm so glad I'm doing it again on this demo because I loved it. All right, so I have another bowl here, clean bowl. This one's gonna be soba noodles, edamame. So tofu would also be great, chicken would be great, shrimp would be awesome. I mean, there's so many different proteins you could do for this one. What else are we doing in here? We're gonna put in some broccoli sauce. Okay. Now, I'm also just making one serving of each thing. It would be a lot easier for me if I just made 3 servings of this, which is, again, why I love meal prep. But 1 serving of each thing is fine. We're also going to do some zoodles. I'm not going to cut them this time. And we've got cilantro, which of course you can skip. We did a post recently on Instagram about what ingredients would ruin a meal, and cilantro and olives were like the 2 most popular ones. So skip the cilantro if you don't like it. And also there are no olives on the spread because people hated olives so much. So this is a dressing I made right before, and I'll send you the recipe. It's sesame oil, balsamic vinegar, sugar, which you can use honey, brown sugar, whatever sweetener you want. Sesame seeds, you can also do ginger and garlic if you want to make it fancy. I didn't, and soy sauce. So that's the dressing. I'm not going to use all of this. It does store in the fridge for, I would say, 2 weeks, and it's delicious. So that's going to go in here. Again, you don't want to put in too much because then it's going to be like a soup. But here is our soba noodle salad. Again, this is so good. I really hope if you make any of these, I really hope it's this one. Okay. Also, I love to know what did you have for lunch today? Tell us in the comments. I had my chickpea beet quinoa salad, and it was delicious. All right, and hopefully one of these will be your future lunch. Okay, so we're gonna do a good old mason jar for this salad. I think mason jars are really fun to store things in. I think this is an 8 ounce, which is a little small. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Oh God, okay. I'm regretting this choice. I'm regretting this choice a lot. Okay. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to show you how to store this in a mason jar. I'm committing, we're doing this. There's gonna be edamame everywhere. It might have been easier to actually put all the ingredients in here before mixing it and then actually shake it up with the dressing. So if you're going to do the mason jar method, put all the ingredients in first and then do the sesame and then just shake it up, and that will be a lot easier. This is what I want. I want you to learn from my mistakes. This is why I do it first. Okay. This is going to be a little messy, but it'll be good. I'm so excited to eat this tomorrow. Okay. Look at that. Only a little messy. Also want you guys to notice this is a Classico top. Okay, so there's my soba noodle salad in a jar, ready to go. I'm gonna just wipe down my counter really quick. All right. Rice paper. Sweet. All right. Moving right along. Any questions on the soba noodle salad before I move on? And you guys I'm just looking at your lunches here. Pizza orzo skillet. Awesome. Zucchini oatmeal bake. Cold peanut bowl. Yeah. Awesome. Will the soba noodle salad be in the program? Probably. We'll have to ask the recipe team if it can be in there. All right. Just clearing some stuff here. The next thing we're gonna do is our regular salad. So fun story, when I first started meal prepping and taking lunches to work, I used to try to meal prep Greek salads, with iceberg lettuce, tomato, like Roma tomatoes, the juicy ones, and cucumbers and feta and all that. It was so soggy. I remember sitting at my desk, like just being like, why did I make myself eat this? Like, why am I eating this right now? And I would never finish it. It was so bad. I still have nightmares, honestly, about that salad. We're not going to do it. I've learned we are doing it in a different way. So for salads, I think the biggest thing is you don't want to dress them when you're meal prepping them. You want to dress them right before you eat them. And you don't want to use like soggy ingredients like drippy tomatoes and stuff like that. So I'm going to put in I'm going to really pack in my leaves. So the cool thing about salads, like you can really just press in the leaves into the container. Make lots of room. We want our salads to be filling and satisfying. The next thing we're going to put in here, we're going to do some chicken. Where's my chicken? We're going to do some carrots. We're going to do cucumbers and red bell pepper. We're going to do some apple. Again, if you don't want your apples to be brown, you just squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on them and they're going to be perfect. We're also going to do some mix-ins. So we got craisins. Craisins, that's right. Walnuts. We're going to do some cheese. This is cheddar cheese. Look at this amazing salad. I mean, 30 seconds. Of course, I chopped stuff before, but you know what I mean. Ooh, spilling the salad. So here's our salad. Again, it's all about the crunchy veggies. You can also use roasted veggies or sauteed veggies. Protein, mix-ins. A good salad is about texture, right? My soggy, sad Greek salad I talked to you about before didn't have any texture, didn't have nuts, it didn't have like different shaped vegetables and just all. This has a lot going on and it's gonna be a lot better. And I would just take some of this dressing and pour it in a small container. I'll show you. These are my salad containers. And I would just do, pour some in. This is okay, this is my first time using this. It's very thick. It's a very thick salad dressing. Oh my goodness.
Talia, as someone's asking about how do you know how much to portion everything?
Yeah, that's again a great question. I think it's trial and error. And I think you can err on the side of like 1 to 2 tablespoons of your mix-ins, and you want to aim for a cup of veggies, not counting the greens. And I would say you aim for like 1/3 to half of a protein, depending on how much you eat and what will satisfy you, right? I think my palm with a handful of chicken I did is about 1/3 of a cup, and that I know for me is good. That's a general guideline, right? A cup of veggies, 1/3 to half a cup of protein. And then for carbs, I'm glad that question came up and I almost forgot. You remember the salad kit from earlier and this thing? You don't want to toss this out. This is a perfectly good croutons in here, right? Just for a little bit of carbs that I'm going to just use in this. So yeah, carbs are important in salad too. Hopefully that helps and answers your question. And I'm really excited to eat this with my dressing tomorrow. All right. We have 2 more to go. So yeah, I know I said 5 template meals, but it's really 6 because we did soba noodles and pasta salad, but they're kind of the same template. Okay. So we're gonna do the grain salad next. So that's gonna be quinoa. This is 1/3 of a cup quinoa dry and then cooked. It's a lot of quinoa, but we're gonna dump it all in. And we're gonna add my egg. We're gonna add that last. We're gonna do more of this. Oh, I think actually, sorry guys. I think I wanna do this in a bowl. I don't wanna mix it. We're gonna do some bagged salad, which is the rest of it. And then we're gonna do, so I have my notes here. We're gonna do some cheese. We're gonna do some nuts and cranberries and the dressing. So with quinoa, the difference between quinoa and leaf salads is that you don't have, you can dress this and store it overnight for a couple days and it's not going to be weird, where a salad would get pretty soggy and weird and gross. Okay. So I'm just gonna mix this up. And you know what? I'm also gonna add, why not? Let's add some carrots. I have them. And I think that'll be good. So this is what I love about this. This is a kind of buffet meal prep style. You can kind of just pick and choose what you want to add as you cook and prep stuff. And look, we've been on here for like half an hour and I've already made, 5 different things. So really, if you get all these ingredients out, you can make a lot of different things and not that a lot of time. Okay, so here's my, it looks like beautiful, fresh, crunchy, easy, filling salad. Okay, beautiful. And then I would add my egg on top. Pretend this is like a chopped egg, but because it's soft boiled, I'm not going to chop it. All right, what do we think? Quinoa salad with all the veggies, cheese, nuts, dressing. I'm super excited to eat this. Okay.
Question, Talia, from one of the attendees. Would you recommend an hour for prep and then 30 minutes for putting meals together, or something different?
Well, I was, look, I'm doing like right now in this workshop, I'm making 6 meals. So I prepped all of this for about an hour, and I chopped the chicken, I chopped the vegetables. I had to cook 4 different carbs. I'm doing a lot more than what you would do. You wouldn't make 4 different carbs probably if you would just do pasta and quinoa, or something like that. So I think 30 minutes for the prep and maybe 20 minutes for assembly, and then 20 minutes for cleanup. Oh, thanks for complimenting my egg. Fun fact, I learned how to make boiled eggs in the pandemic. That was my pandemic skill. So yeah. Okay. All right, last one. So the last one is kind of like, it doesn't really have these written out ingredients that I've been reading from. This is our bento. Yeah, my egg experiment, exactly. This is a snack box bento. Bento is Japanese term for lunchbox. It's like an assortment of things. This is going to be great if you are someone who cooks dinner every night and has leftovers, or like maybe it's the end of the week and you just have random odds and ends of things. And this is for the person who doesn't really need a cohesive lunch and just wants to pick at things, or you don't know what you're going to be in the mood for, or you just don't have time to cook and make anything, but you can throw stuff in a box and throw it in your bag and go. So I'm going to take, now, remember the beet salad I mentioned earlier? These are leftovers from my lunch, right? I didn't finish my lunch, but there's some quinoa and chickpeas in here that are perfectly good for, a couple more days. And I'm literally just going to put that in my bento, because again, this is about leftovers, about being creative, about stretching your meals. And I have a lot of stuff over here that I haven't used up that I can use. So I can throw my other egg in here. I can, let's see. I can do some edamame in here.
Talia, Ron is wondering if the bento boxes are dishwasher safe.
Yeah, so this is stainless steel. So it is dishwasher safe, but it's not microwave safe, which so it's perfect for the no reheat situation. There are glass and plastic versions of this that are microwave safe as well and dishwasher safe. Great question. I could, what else? I can put in some raw veggies in here. I can also do, I also have hummus, right? So I can put some hummus in. I'm gonna move some things around in here. And with the hummus, I don't know, Maybe I'll do this. You can get a liner or something so you don't have to clean it out so much later. This isn't gonna fit. Okay, pretend I have a liner, which I can link to when I send you guys the container guide after this. But also I haven't bought hummus in a while, but again, this is a hack, right? You don't have to make hummus from scratch. If you don't have time, just buy it. It's no big deal. Oh, and I have Trader Joe's non-crackers for my hummus. What else can I put in here that I have? I feel like there's a lot going on. Okay, that might be it for now. So here's my little random lunch, right? We've got crackers, hummus, raw veggies, edamame, quinoa, leftover quinoa, and an egg. This will be very satisfying and very interesting to eat, right? This is not gonna be boring. So yeah, I would say I'd be pretty excited to eat this if this was the end of the week and I was over my lunches and just like, whatever, throw it in a box and go. Any questions about this? You can do this, you can use rice, you can use like cooked meat, right? Like anything left over from dinner can go in here. And this might be like, you guys we can debate this, but I really believe that every meal possible can be eaten cold. It's just that not all meals are good cold, right? So anything you cook for dinner can be eaten room temperature the next day and be fine. Will it be the best thing ever? No, but it will save you time, it'll save you money, and you'll be happy that you have it when you're like just slammed in your workday. So, okay, so we're going to talk about, storage, because now we're done. We have all our meals. Move this stuff out of the way. Any other questions, Sarah? Well, I'm just clearing some stuff.
We just had one pop up. Are you a cold pizza person? They're asking.
Well, okay, question. Are you guys cold pizza people? I definitely am if that's all I have. But if I have time to put it in the air fryer, absolutely putting it in the air fryer. I see we already have some cold pizza. But again, like it's like I'd rather just eat that than have to go wait in line at Kava, you know, where the lines are forever and get something, you know, just it's easier just to eat what's there.
And also a question from one of the attendees about how much did these ingredients cost roughly to prepare these meals?
I actually have it. So I got all this stuff from Whole Foods, and you know, Whole Foods is not usually where I shop. I just went there for zoodles and it was $80. So again, just went for the zoodles. It would have been cheaper at Fred Meyer, where I usually go, but that was the cost. What do you think? Is that high, low? It's a lot of food. Okay. Ooh. So look at all this that we just made. I mean, this is a lot. We have 6 meals here. Okay, so let's talk about containers. So I don't have any plastic containers, but I do want to point out that plastic containers would be what is over here? Okay, plastic containers would be lighter, right? They're lighter. That's a big pro to having a plastic container, especially if you're commuting to school. If you're a college student, you have a backpack with your laptop and all that stuff, get a plastic container because it's going to be a lot lighter. But the next important thing to keep in mind is that you want containers with lids that snap, because otherwise they will probably leak. All my containers here, you know, these are snap lids that kind of like suction cups right to the container. And so these are not going to leak in your bag. I also have this. I bought this for my cookbook, but it's a fun little bento. So it's something that stacks. It has a little compartment. This is another bento idea if you want to like separate some things, or maybe you just want to heat up half of your meal. So it's stuck. It's really stuck in here. Okay. So if you want to only reheat this part, you know, this is a good option for you. It did come with like a rubber band thing to keep it all together, but I don't know where that is. All right. So that's my storage. I would say again, these can last in the fridge for up to 4 days. All of them would be fine for 4 days. These are not freezer friendly. That's the one thing you want to keep in mind about these meals. Anything that you want to eat fresh isn't freezer friendly. So if you want to eat like raw bell pepper and you freeze it and you want to eat it raw, it's not going to work. You have to cook with it once it's frozen or reheat it. Anything else I can say about storage? I think that's it. Any storage questions? Because we have some fun stuff. We have time for more Q&A, and I also want to do a giveaway with you guys. And I want to share a discount to the Work with Lunch Meal Prep program for everyone who's here. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're almost out. We're almost done. Got 15 minutes left. So, okay, I have a question for you guys. This is our giveaway question. So if you answer this question, you will be entering a giveaway, and we are going to give away a lunch bag. So it's like kind of like something you can put your lunches in. I will, let me see if I have one. Hold on. So, shoot. All right, well, it's a cool lunch bag. I picked it out myself and we are giving it away. So the question, again, we're going to pick the winner like live. So the question is, which template meal that I showed you would you be interested in trying first? Let me know in the comments and we will choose a winner randomly and we'll gift you a lunch bag. All right, so I'll let that go for a little bit while I share the discount. So since you're here, whether you are a member or not of the Work with Lunch Meal Prep program, where we share all of our recipes and we have meal plans, grocery lists, all of our tools are in the subscription. You can get 25% off our 6-month and 12-month memberships from now until Friday with the code no microwave, all caps. So I'll also email you this information after, but as a thank you for coming on, we're sharing this discount just for you guys. And whoever's watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. That's no microwave, 25% off our 6-month and 12-month options. All right, we got a lot of answers. So you'll give it another minute if you want to answer the question, which template meal will you be trying first? And we are going to pick a winner for the giveaway. Damn, I got my weekend set over here. All right, so I'm seeing green salad, pasta salad, wrap, soba noodles, bento soba. You guys are liking the soba. Hell yeah, this is great. Oh, thank you for posting the link, Sarah. Wraps. Oh, lots of wraps. Okay, all right. Alyssa, can you please choose someone random of these commenters so we can choose a winner for this giveaway of this lunch bag? I think we'll also throw in some ice packs while we're at it. Oh yeah, let me show you guys. So these are 2 ice packs that I own that have been handed down to me from my mom. Like I actually have not purchased any ice bags, but I usually use this guy for my lunch boxes. I will send you a better one though than this. And this one is kind of useless to be honest, but it's fine. Okay. Oh, we have a winner. Okay. Laurel, I'm going to butcher your last name. Oh my God. Praska. Oh my God. Yay. Okay. So Laurel, if you want to shoot me an email, that's talia@workweeklunch.com. We will hook you up with a lunch bag and ice packs. Thanks for playing, guys. Oh my God. This is so fun. This like flew by. If you have any other questions, we can hang out for a little bit longer. Any general meal prep questions, anything about any other ideas you want me to talk about? Maybe you have a specific situation if you're in college, school, or whatever at your work. I'm happy to discuss that with you and help you out. While we're here, I'm just gonna put these away really quick. Yay, yeah, I will be doing more of this. There will be a feedback survey in the email that I'm gonna send you tomorrow after this. Yay, thanks guys. Yeah.
Question in the Q&A, Talia, about how would you freeze something like a bento box? Like what things would you put in a bento box and you could like put it in the freezer and then pull it out?
That's a great question. If I was gonna freeze it and then reheat it or like eat it warm, rice would be number 1. I would love to do like a teriyaki chicken or salmon situation or tofu. And then for veggies, it's gonna be like some roasted broccoli or even like blanched broccoli. And blanching is when you quickly cook veggies in boiling water and you just let it cook for a couple minutes so that it's like bright green. And then, you know, it's like, I would just season it full of salt, keep it really simple, things like that. And then the day of, I would add some fresh things like fruit, something like candy, something, fun, maybe some crackers and cheese as well. Like, I just love the cheese and cracker vibe, honestly, in the bento. But those are the things I would freeze, like grains, proteins, and veggies that are good cooked. And then, of course, you can use things in your bento like lasagna, mac and cheese, anything soupy like curries is probably not going to work unless you have one of those like soup containers. But things like the pastas, absolutely. Yeah. Someone asked in the chat. Oh, thank you, Sam, for that compliment. So, okay, Bugs, you asked, you normally take snacks. I only have 15 minutes for lunchtime. So this is where that bento situation is gonna be great. Like when I do the bento, usually I do like think Starbucks. Think like you can get at Starbucks. Like it's like apples, peanut butter, an egg, crackers, hummus, grapes, like things you could just pick out quickly, goldfish, trail mix, like anything snacky that's filling and satisfying with different textures. Those are gonna be your best friend for someone who only has 15 minutes and just you can do the snack lunch, celery, raw peppers, edamame. Those are great, again, green, like veggie things, like not snack, like not like goldfish kind of things. Yeah.
One more question from the Q&A.
Yeah,
are there certain meals that would work well or are safe to eat if you can't keep food cold until lunch or even dinner?
Yeah, I think, again, if you're pulling it out of the fridge in the morning and you're eating it like even at 2 p.m., it's going to be okay unless it's a sweltering hot day. It's really going to be all right. These containers retain the temperature pretty well. Like when I put this in my bag and I go to WeWork and I take it out, it's still kind of cold, like to the touch. For dinner, in that case, I would try to use a lunch bag with an ice pack in your bag with you. I mean, it's gonna be bulkier, it's heavier, but that is gonna be the best option. There are also lunch bags that you can freeze, like you can freeze the whole lunch bag and it'll stay cold. It's gonna be okay, unless it's really hot. Yeah, great questions, everyone. Always happy to answer your questions about this stuff. I only want success for you when it comes to lunch and your meals, because I think we're all happier when we're fed, And this makes
a couple more questions in Q&A. Is your travel set coming out soon?
My travel set? What do you mean?
I think, are they referring to
the Pantry Pal?
The Pantry Pal.
Yeah. Okay. So if you go, Pantry Pal, let me get it. Quick shout out. Okay. So Pantry Pal, this is my mom's product that she made for traveling and for food and stuff. If you go to gopantrypal.com, it's on pre-order right now. So just so you know what it looks like. Yeah, this is a way for you to pack pantry items on the go for cooking for when you're traveling. So that's gopantrypal.com. It's on pre-sale.
Also, did you use the zoodles raw?
Yes,
I believe you did. So
yes, you can eat zoodles raw. You can also eat, like, they have sweet potatoes, noodles and stuff. You can eat those raw. I think they're gonna be pretty hard, but zucchini, we all know zucchini gets really soggy when cooked. So just like eat it raw. It's gonna be delicious. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I need to get a spiralizer. I feel like, since I had to drive all the way to Whole Foods to get the zoodles, maybe I don't have to do that. I hope that these quick cooking hacks also helped you. Again, like we did a lot of shortcuts today and a lot of pre-made stuff, pre-chopped stuff. It's going to be really helpful for you to use those things if you are struggling to find time to meal prep. And again, I only use pesto, barbecue sauce, and like the dressing, and the sesame dressing. I didn't go crazy with the flavor.
And the sesame dressing will be in the mailer or the printable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, everyone, we're going to wrap it up here. Once again, the promo code for 25% off the program is going to be no microwave. That's just for you. It's valid from now until Friday. And I want to thank you again for being here. This is our first workshop. I'm going to send a feedback form to you. We're going to do more in the future, but you can help me pick the next topic. And I hope to see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your night. And thanks again. Bye.